Harv, good 3 points today. Not necessarily a great performance. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, definitely a good 3 points, and needed 3 points. Yeah, it was hard, tough to come into it. But they were a good side. Thought they played a certain way, and they executed that way quite well, especially with the big man up top. Them throw-ins were hard to deal with. I thought to show and go sort of 2-0 down, then 2-1, 2-2, and then bring it back to 3-2, especially with the chances we had as well. I thought it's good character from the boys. Shows that even on our bad days, we can still get a win through.
Perfect. So people would have seen that Amadou obviously started the game in goal, and he picked up an injury quite early on in the first half. How do you prepare for that as a goalkeeper? You're sort of sat there waiting, and it's a horrible position to be in, isn't it, as a number 2 at times? But
yeah,
when called upon, you were there and fantastic.
Yeah, it's probably my first ever sort of experience of coming off the bench. Obviously, being the levels I've played at, it's definitely the first time. I thought coming into it, every time you sort of come into it, you just think, just another day on the bench. But I mean, coming back such short notice, I don't think I'd be called into action straight away, especially so early on to the game. But yeah, look, it's one of the ones where you've just got, like the gaffer said to me, is like build your way into it. It's sort of like you're starting your own game while the game's going, so it's hard to get into it, but just little things, get the basics right, and sort of go into it.
So you mentioned the size of their forward line, but they had size all throughout the pitch, didn't they? And they wanted to play an aerial game, which suited them.
Yeah.
How well do you think we dealt with that?
Yeah, I think look, it's tough. There's a few teams in this league that play like that. I think the boys, we've got height in areas. I think we dealt with it well. I think it's hard, especially them balls that are sort of throw-ins. I think the boys would say, I'd rather a corner come in, because them throw-ins they're sort of low and they're loopy, or they're not loopy, so they're driven. And it's hard to deal with, especially when you've got a big front up top who can either chest it or can flick it. It's sort of just a nightmare. But I think we sat well. We've doubled up on him. A couple of times he's won it, which he is gonna. But we're always there for the second ball to do.
So we mentioned massively in the dressing room afterwards about character. So 2-0 down early on in the game is not a great position for us to be in, obviously. But what was said at half time? What was sort of how did the gaffer rally the troops?
I think this is sort of the business end of the season. I know we've been into the business end of the season for quite a while now, but this is the proper business. This is evidently where you have to get the job done, no matter how. And I mean, winners, like he said, the gaffer said, winners are good when they win, but a true character is shown when you're losing. Can you get in front from behind? And that just shows spirit. And I think every single one of us, like, we had an off game. It weren't brilliant. It weren't pretty. But look, if you can not play as great and still come away with 3 points, that just shows not only you've got good players in front of you, but you've got good characters as well.
Fantastic. So for you, as you come in, I can't imagine you're going to have many noisier fans behind you than what you had to deal with Corinthians today, and I thought the Leverhead fans were fantastic down the other end as well. How nice was it to see on a bank holiday Monday? There was good 400 or 500 people here, and a lot of noise being made.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I think them behind the goal was superb. I think even when they actually got louder when we scored to help the other boys. It's I think when you just have a moment to take it all in, it's quite surreal. And it's fair play to them. I think a few of them come from Brazil way. I know the connection with the club to Brazil. And fair play to them. They didn't stop banging that drum.
So 4 games in a week is what we've had. What we're going to have. We've had Saturday, we've had Monday. Now we look to Thursday. But surely, what do we take out of today?
Momentum. That's, if I'm correct, 6 on a bounce. It's momentum. I think it's one of them ones where we take each game as it comes. When you've got 4 games in a week, or however many it is, you can't sort of look to the next one too soon. You take each one as they come. And the boys are professional. They're all athletes. They can all look after each other. They can rest and recover. as far as I'm concerned, you've got a squad full of football players, but a squad full of athletes as well. So look, yeah, it's about rest and recovery. I mean, the gaffer knows that. He takes that on board. He's wise with that, and he knows sort of when to play players and when to give players rest, how to play, and yeah, I think it's just about rest and recovery, and we go again Thursday.
Absolutely. So, Leverhead fans, Thursday we're away to Badstock Leeds, 7:45 kickoff. Come down, support the boys, support Harvey. Harvey, excellent job today, mate. 3 points. Let's enjoy our bank holiday. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.